Today we're going to be talking about free will, understanding what type of free will exists, and coercion, mixture of both. You get? So firstly, I'm sure one thing that there's somebody watching somewhere out there. You made a choice today. You chose what to eat, you chose what to wear, you chose what to drink, you chose to work that job today, you chose to do almost everything you did today. And you felt all of those choices came from you. Well, I want to let you know that you're wrong. Most of those choices you made today didn't come from you. You were actually coerced into doing majority of the things you did today. So earlier we've been taught that free will is simple. Everything you do, you are responsible for your success, you are responsible for your failures, you are the one responsible for everything that happens to you. That's the way we've been taught. Every man has free will, everybody has free will, you're free to do anything you want to do, and the benefits or the repercussions of whatever you do is solely on you, and that is naturally how it is. Most things you do, you are being coerced to it. And knowing this is actually a good thing. To be aware that you are being coerced to do things is actually a good thing because it gives you power. What you're not aware of that is controlling you has more power over you than when you're aware of something that is controlling. Even if you don't really have the power to end all form of coercion, if you're aware that this and this and this are the factors acting, are the external factors or internal factors acting on me or against me or for me, you'll be able to know how to more or less control it to your benefit, or try and understand where you are and how to move forward from there. So let's pick, tomorrow is Saturday now, okay? You want to get something light, just a treat. You go to a restaurant, a fancy restaurant, you feel free, the waiter comes, hands you the menu, you're looking at the menu, considering options, variables changed. For example, now let me show you the first one. You didn't even choose what shows on the menu. Do you know? You didn't have the free will to choose what will be shown on the menu. You only saw what the restaurant wanted to show you. The restaurant might have 50 meals, and might just show you 30 meals. Or they might have 30 meals and show you maybe just 10 meals that are available. And to you, you're not aware that the management have coerced you into choosing from those 10 out of the 30 that actually exist. So that way now, you're being coerced actually. The number 2 aspect of this decision you made now is that your finances are already coercing you, because you have a budget of what you want to spend while going out. And if your budget was, let's say, 50k, and there's a meal that is 70k or 80k, you won't even consider tasting the food or asking more about it, because you know it's out of your league. Same thing with if you go to a club and there's some alcohol that are in millions of naira or dollars, thousands of dollars, and there are some that are quite affordable. So far as it is above your financial capacity, you tend to not show interest in it. And it's not like you don't like it or you won't like it if you taste it, but because it's out of your reach, your financial situation has kind of coerced you now to not even think about it or not even ask much about it, Then your taste preference, things you like normally. When we're growing up, if you're from the Igbo, you must have been eating meals on a weekend, you most likely eat akara in the morning and bread, or in the evening, soup and swallow. Afternoon will be Sunday rice, So one of those things you've been doing regularly since you were little, those will start creating your preferences, because your preferences are chosen from what you were exposed to. It's what you were exposed to that determines what you can choose as your preference. You might not have eaten some Yoruba meals like amala and ewedu as an Igbo guy, but to you feel it might not be that good. It will not be nice because it doesn't look like what you eat as Igbos, But if you were opportunity to have tested amala and ewedu while growing up, not once, 2, 3, 4 times, you see yourself that when you're maybe in your 18s or 20s, you will not see amala and ewedu as something that you don't really like. You like it because when you grew up eating it. So that is not free will. And many of you have felt like, oh, I just made a choice. You didn't make a choice like to feel. You were coerced to make a choice. Yes. So coercion is kind of inevitable, but you need to be aware of it so you can know how to make it work for you, not work against you. If you're not aware, you won't know how to make it work for you, and you see yourself being coerced to do so many things, and you start blaming yourself for decisions you made. Meanwhile, you were coerced to make that decisions. So I kind of want to speak to people watching this. There may be some aspect of your life that is not going according to plan, and you might be saying, I'm lazy, I feel I'm lazy, and my mates are doing this. No, you're exhausted. You might think you're undisciplined. I can't keep up with going to the gym. I went to the gym twice this week, and the remaining 5 times I didn't go. You're just responding to constraints that you did not create. There's some constraints that are holding you back from doing that thing that you want to do. But you've not sat down to ask yourself, what are the constraints affecting me? You need to sit down and ask yourself that question. Sometimes you might think that you made some bad choices, you decide to do some things that were not best for you. But the problem is, you might have made a choice now that was available to you, given what you could afford. Most of the times, your failures is not always about you. Most of the time, sometimes it's the system. The system can work in a way that you won't be able to get some things you want to get. The system can work against you, and the system is working against everyone actually. But many people are not aware of how the system does that. So it's when you have the information of this is happening, you can know, oh, since this is happening, what can I do? Or how can I realign myself to ensure even if this is happening, this will still favor me? Do you get? That is the awareness, that is the freedom, that is the kind of freedom you can actually experience. Not like free will. Free will does not exist. Free will is when you are aware that something's acting against you and you find a way to soft tune it to still favor you, or you still work in alliance with it to achieve a greater good for yourself. Yet some people, you may have wanted to become something in the future, but there'll be some constraints that must have held you back, and you won't really know that it's not just your fault. It's not your fault. Like, if you look within, if you look out, if you look from a third party point of view, like as a third party looking at yourself and the constraints surrounding you, you see that there were XYZ factors in play that made you make that decision you made. But you just think that, oh, I did it all by myself. No, you didn't do anything by yourself. You were coerced from the day you were born. Everything you chose, you were coerced to choose everything you chose. Your religion, the language you speak, the culture, the things you like, you are coerced from the very moment you started breathing. You're coerced to start valuing some things more than some other things. That's why that free will is kind of, But when you understand that your constraints are real, you know that the things limiting you are real things that you can actually point to and you can observe, and it's not like you're a failure, but the outcome you got was gotten based on XYZ constraints, and those constraints are real things that actually influence your choices. You can then start working strategically to change it. So it's when you're aware of it that you can work strategically to change what kind of outcomes you're getting. So you don't need to be blaming yourself for circumstances that you didn't design. You need to start asking yourself, how do I expand my options given what I actually have? You need to know where you are, know what you have, then ask yourself, how can I have more options? Because free will is having more options. The more options you have, the closer you are to having free will. But nobody can have 100% free will. Even the president of America is being coerced to alliances. Israel is there, UK is there. There are people that still coerce the decisions that the US government make. Nobody just makes any decision through 100% free will. Free will is a myth, but you being aware that you're being coerced makes you closer to free will than someone that is blaming themselves for everything that happens to them. Even when it is obvious that this is not within your control. So why are you blaming yourself for this? Why are you blaming yourself for that? Those things are out of your control, you get. So I believe this whole coercion thing, there are 4 cages. I use the word cages because a cage is like something that limits you, and most cages in life are actually mental cages, are actually like virtual cages. You can't see it, but you can feel the impact of this kind of things, you get. Number 1, the topmost cage that people need to understand that constraints and shapes everything they do is money. Money is number 1. Everybody has the basic needs. They need to eat, they need to find a place like they can stay, they need to do this and that. Money is not optional. You need money to survive, actually. And for you to make money, that means you must end up partaking in labor activities. Like, you must sell your time to survive. You must work. Let me put it that way. You must work. Now that is coercion. So are you saying you're already being coerced at the initial stage? For you to eat, for you to have a place that you can rest your head, you must work. You're being coerced to work. So you can't call that free will. Free will is when you can choose to do something or not do something and this thing. But even that decision that you get to make safe is still being influenced by other things that surrounds it. You get? So you might say, okay, yes, everybody has to work, everybody has to partake in one way or the other, but that's not really the point, because even if everybody has to work, you are not actually choosing to work. You are choosing how to survive. You get? And that's a different thing entirely from everybody has to work, everybody has to work. If you are choosing between 2 jobs now, one is maybe 50k monthly, and the other one can be given maybe 100k or 150k a month in 6 months. Now you're not even choosing freely again. You're not choosing between survive now and risk surviving. That is also coercion again too. Number 2 fact that kind of coerces is your community. Your community, like everything around you. Humans are social beings. We don't like being alone. We're not biologically wired to be on our own, which means most of the time you can't actually opt out of what your community wants or expects from you without there being some sort of cost attached to it that will be kind of psychologically unbearable. You get? If you're not doing what the community wants, they can segregate you. That segregation now can affect you. It will affect you psychologically. It's the more reason why humans tend to agree on things together, even when it's not favorable to everybody. But so far as those that are against it are not as much as those that are supporting it, those that are against it will eventually collapse into accepting it. That collapse now is them being coerced into doing something. That's what the collapse is. They were being coerced into accepting something, accepting to do something that is not favorable to them, but it aligns with what people in the community want them to do. For example, now I might give an example of even your upbringing. Your family might want you to get married. I want to have my grandchildren. Now it's up to you. You're not ready, but your parents are kind of coercing you to start working towards getting married. And community wants you to follow suit because community has said that that's how life is going to be. You grow up, you get a job, then you get married, then you procreate, you get old, you figure away, then you die eventually, your child continues the same cycle, same thing on and on and on, You can rebel against what they are trying to coerce you into doing, but it will definitely cause isolation. To definitely cause isolation. And most human beings would rather choose belonging over freedom, because isolation actually breaks humans. Isolation makes humans to not function properly. When a person is isolated, mental issues, depression, so many negative vices start popping up due to isolation. So your mom now is naturally forcing you to get married, but she's applying pressure to you, and that pressure over the time becomes kind of like internalized. You start wanting what she wants because you've been shaped to want it. And that one is information. Information is key, actually. Information is key. And most people don't know that you can only choose what you are aware exists. It's only what you are aware of that you can even think or even conceive in your mind or even crave. You can't crave what you don't know, what you've not seen, what you've not experienced. The information available to you is determined by where you are born, who your parents are, and the network you have access to. Where you are born plays a very, very key role in determining the kind of information you're going to have access to. Then the kind of parents you have, plays a role also too, because parents are of two types. There are parents that are the rich type, and there are parents that are the poor type. The rich types of parents, now their children will be hearing conversations about investment, things that make them feel like they have too many choices to choose from. It gives them this sense of freedom of choice. So they can easily choose from multiple options of things, and anyone they choose, the parents will support them. But children from poor parents, those children now, they tend to hear conversations more about survival, debt, because their parents are workers, so they have fewer options, they have fewer things they can choose from. Their options are narrow. They are being coerced heavily compared to the rich man's children. All of that now is information coercion. Information coercion. You are being forced to do something just based on what you are limited to. The fourth cage that kind of holds you back is your brain. This machine they are saying, this biological machine that has a brain, has a heart, liver, kidney, and other internal organs. Your brain can coerce you to do things. Normally if you're choosing to do some things, it has to come from your mind. It's when you think of it, you now say, I want to do this. So sometimes your brain can coerce you into doing some things. And your biological system is running on algorithm that is shaped by evolution, your past, and your current state. So, for example, now when you're hungry, you think differently. When you're tired, you have less willpower. When you're tired, you don't really feel like doing things. You just feel tired. You don't feel like doing anything right now. You get. When you're stressed now, you kind of your prefrontal cortex will shut down, and your amygdala will take over. The amygdala is in charge of fear. It makes you feel fear. You get. So everything that your brain senses, it makes you react to it. If you sense that you're hungry, there's a way you start behaving. If you sense that you're angry, there's a way you start behaving. If you sense that you're stressed or you're tired, there are different ways it will force you into behaving. Even if you don't want to behave that way, you just start behaving that way. Yes. So I won't call it weakness, I'll just call it biology. You need to be aware that these things exist so you can understand how to understand what's happening to you and around you, so you can make the best choices at all times. Yes. Most people don't really know this about themselves, so they blame themselves. They will say things like, I'm lazy. It's not like you're lazy, you're just depressed. You get. Someone will be like, I have no discipline. It's hard for me to continue something once I start. That is not really the case. You're just feeling exhausted, most likely. If you make bad choices, sometimes you're kind of responding to fear. So for every action, there's an opposite reaction. For everything that happens, there's a cause. So understanding what is the cause, what caused something to happen, is understanding the walls that is surrounding, that is limiting. In a way, also too, I would say the system is genius. When I say the system is genius is because nobody actually sat down to start thinking, let me design a system that will coerce people. It's just something that happened. It just happened. Even the educational system that our colonial administrators have been enforcing for over a decade, now it is normal. People are even praying to even go to school. But when this stuff started back then, they had to enforce it. But because of the way they enforced it back then, it's now looking normal now to people. The economy kind of needs people that are desperate enough to accept whatever is given to them, even if it's not up to what they want. It makes good use of that feature. And it's not good. It's not good. It's not good actually. They'll just pay you enough to survive. You can find someone earning 150k, someone earning 200,000. What would they want you to do? They'll just give you what can keep you going, so that you keep on coming back to work, showing up week by week, month by month. Time is going, your years are going. You still be serving a company that is just using you. So it's deep. There's no reason for you to blame yourself for most of the things that you do, because you are most likely being coerced to do it. The social system kind of needs conformity. It wants everybody to do things a certain way. So it kind of applies pressure to your family. Your family can pressure you into doing something. Your friends can pressure you into doing something. Those that you care about, they'll apply some kind of pressure on the people around you. Then if you don't follow the scripts, if you check everything properly, you'll see that it's the system that is forcing your mom to apply that pressure on you. So indirectly, you are being coerced by the system. I told you, the system is the biggest threat. Then we're talking about the reasons why this thing matters, why understanding the existence of coercion matters and more. You might be thinking, okay, so I've heard I'm coerced, I don't have fury, so what am I meant to do? Because since everything I do is being coerced, that kind of thing. First, you need to stop blaming yourself for things that happen to you. There's something that happened to you that is beyond your power. You don't need to blame yourself for the outcome of things that happen that is not really within your control. So stop blaming yourself. Ask yourself, how can I navigate this turmoil that I'm in easily, that will be peaceful for me and my family? There are even some systematic problems that it's only when you see them as systematic that you can now work strategically to solve them, because systematic means that's just how the world operates. That's how the civilization operates of the world, So those things some are systematic, and you need to interact with it to find a better way to get what you want. The hard truth of all of this is that understanding coercion does not guarantee success. It doesn't mean that you're going to turn out a billionaire instantaneously or something like that. Real freedom is kind of messier than fantasy freedom. Fantasy freedom is when you're just wishing. So it's better for you to be aware of the cage you're in and you're actively trying to break out of it, than for you to never know that you're in the cage and you think you're just in the normal place. Free will is a lie. There's nothing like free will for humans. The whole system wants you to make you to feel like there's something wrong with you or stuff like that, but that's not it. The system wants you to believe that you're free, so you blame yourself, where you struggle, those kind of attitude will keep you trapped. Yes, but once you see the cage that surrounds you, you can understand the constraints and recognize where the person was receiving it from. So this is just basically for everyone to understand how coercion works, understand that you are being coerced in one form or the other. And you cannot escape all coercions, it's not possible. But you expand your freedom. As you're going higher, you're expanding your freedom.